Hello guys, my name is Lee Guan Wei. My metric number is 207491. I'm studying Bachelor of Communication in UPM, currently first year student. So, Azira, you.
Hi, hello. My name is Nur Azira Binti Nordin. I'm a second year student studying Bachelor of Science Biochemistry. Zip.
Hello, my name is Heng Zitong, matrix number 209132, and I'm a first year student of Bachelor of Biomedical Science. Nisha?
My metric number is 200060, and I'm doing Bachelor of
She's lagging, right?
You can, Nisha, can you introduce yourself back?
Oh, sorry, I thought. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Nisha Chumali Shammi, and my metric number is 200060, and I'm doing Bachelor of Economics. How about Camila?
Hello, my name is Nurkanila binti Muhammad Zamri, matric number 199876, a third year student in Bachelor Food Studies.
Okay guys, so, uh, so I have attended 3 professional trainings on week 1. One of them is conducted by the Toastmaster that teaches us some speaking skills and presentation skills as well. I think it I think it's very beneficial to me because it will definitely help me when I do presentation in university. In the training session, we also discuss some activities that promote speaking and create awareness for students. For example, discussion, role-playing, storytelling, giving a speech, and others. Next will be the trainer session conducted by Isaac alumni. She taught us some lesson planning skills for the upcoming workshops. I've learned from this because it helps me to articulate the steps of lesson planning to support students' learning. It was a useful talk for me. Furthermore, the training session is about the IT knowledge. I have better understanding about the career options about around IT like software development, business analysis, and others. Besides, I've also learned about the impact of COVID on jobs. It really like whitened my wheels throughout the workshop. So in conclusion, there are the training session being conducted on week 1. I've learned a lot from it and I am looking forward to the next the training session on the following weeks. So Azira, how about you?
All right. So during this pickup project, we were trained by 3 trainers that are experienced in their field. So for the first one, my Toastmaster, in this training session, we were trained to actually, we have 2 part actually. The first part where we train to discuss with ourselves, to use activities to engage with our students. We use activities such as storytelling, role play, and more others for to engage with our students to be for them to be more comfortable speaking in English. For like storytelling, they are we know that the students actually around the age of 13 to 17 years old, they actually like to tell the story to other person. So I think storytelling is actually one of the activities that's perfect for them to be more comfortable in English. All right, for the second part of the session is when we are trained to we will teach actually we will taught by the trainers to the skills in order to have a perfect speech. So is the thing that I can the first thing that I can get from this session is that practice is the key to have a successful speech. So you have always to practice, practice, and practice. And body language is also important, and also as pronunciation. But the most important thing is you need to be more confident in speaking, in speech, by giving speech, because I think confidence is the key to everything. All right. So the second session is by um, Isaac alumni. So in this session, we were taught by the trainer to do our own lesson plan. So in this session, uh, we know how to do lesson plan before we actually make our own workshop. So this is important because we need to know during using this lesson plan, we can actually know the flow of the workshop more clearly, and so we can plan more activities according to the lesson plan. So we actually you really need this lesson plan actually. Okay, and then second part of the session is that we are taught on how to manage the students in the class area during the teaching session. Okay, so there are rules that were taught by the trainers that we have to make the students more disciplined during the teaching session. Okay, so that's for the second session. Then we move on to the next training session, which is IT training session. So during this one, we were taught by someone that are experienced, actually some CEO, if I'm not mistaken, very experienced one in this field. So I am honored to get to be teach by him. So in this training session, we will talk about more about career paths that actually we can take during this IT programming. Yeah, so that's all for me. Can we move on to Z?
So hello everyone, my name is Ditong. So talking about the train the trainer session. So the first one was like what was mentioned. The first one was from Toastmasters, where we were taught to learn to how to give a good speech, and also how to encourage students to give a good speech. One key takeaway message was to um, encourage students to talk. Don't be very fussy about their grammar, about their pronunciation, as long you create an environment for them to talk. And then the next session was by Isaac alumni from Teach for Malaysia, where we learn to how to plan our lesson plan. And one key takeaway that I really like to share is the 3P, the presentation, practice, and if not mistaken, present. Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. But basically, is that the first one is I do, we do, and you do. So I do is where the teacher will show the students how to do. We do is where the teacher will guide the students on how to do the certain topic. And the last one will be you do is where the students have to do it by themselves. So with Miss Zing's very clearly structured lesson, we really have a really good plan for our upcoming workshop to make sure that students really get to learn what we want to convey, which is to learn more about coding. And the last the trainer session is by Mr. CEO, which he taught us about the career in the IT field, where he shared us about a misconception and people's assumption about having a career in IT, and it was a really insightful session. So how about Nisha?
So for me, let me start with the first one. So the first training session was with Toastmasters. So in that session, I learned my public speaking skills. I got resources and ideas on what should we teach the students when we are going to conduct workshops. The next session was with an Isaac alumni, Seeing. So in that I learned how to do proper lesson plan for workshops and many other things and also her experience on handling students, which really helped me in conducting the workshop. As I knew from her experience, I could handle students in my learning circle well. The third session was with Mr. Moin from XSIT. So in that I learned a bit about IT sector and the jobs available and was my learning
Nishat, you might have to repeat.
Hello, Nishat.
Later we have to cut this part out.
Oh, Nishat just disconnected. So I continue. So for Nishat is back. Nishat, do you want to continue? Can continue.
yeah. So from which part did I go off?
The technology part.
Oh, okay. So let me start with the technology part again. So the third session was with Mr. Moin from XSIT. So in that part, I learned about IT sector jobs and the misconceptions around IT sector, or the basic things like we usually think that dealing with programming and everything is tough. So he taught about it's not that tough. So he tried to encourage us our enthusiasm towards IT sector. And for me, I think I my favorite session was with Isaac alumni Z Ing, because I think I learned most about students from her, because her experience was very good. Like she has a lot of experience with dealing students, which is the main thing in this project, because we have to deal with students in all the workshops. So for me, that was the best session. How about Camila?
Thank you, Nishat. Okay, so for me, for the first session is by the two Toastmaster from UPM, from Dr. Umi itself. She is from Faculty of Education. What I learned from her session is do not be afraid of making mistake, and keep on practicing so that because practice makes perfect, right? So keep on practicing and then always be confident when trying to deliver the speech. And then for the next Toastmaster, we learned that the technique in public speaking, like the body language and always have clear info. And then the next Toastmaster train the trainer is by the alumni Isaac and also a teacher. Um, the first session delivered by her is able to is how to produce a lesson plan. I think this is very crucial for us um, when we want to deliver or teach students, especially high student, we should have the objectives so that the objective is delivered and students know what they had learned. And then the next session by the same speaker is online classroom management, like how to uh, handle students virtually. Um, and then the last one, train the trainer session is by Mr. Moin. He is from IT Access Access IT Senior Berhad. During his session, uh, he he share the career options around IT, the misconception about IT, and the impact of COVID on jobs. What I learned from his session is I see technology involved in our daily life. Every day we always check our phones without so that is how we relate how we use technology. I think that's all from me.